When you start out as an OnlyFans chatter, you are mystified as to why some subscribers buy and some do not buy. Is it you? Is it your chatting style? Is it the sub? Is it the model? Is it the traffic source? What could it be? Who knows? I know, and I'm going to give you 6 reasons why right now that subs purchase. Now, there's infinite reasons why they would buy. You can come up with infinite situations and infinite circumstances why a subscriber would buy at any given time. However, these 6 reasons will encapsulate most of them so that you will know what to look for when a sub buys. And what I would encourage you to do if you're a chatter, especially if you're one of my chatters, is when you sell something to a sub, when a sub gives you money, whether it's a tip or he buys a piece of content or whatever, I want you to think to yourself, which one of these 6 reasons is it? And then over time, you will begin to be able to predict what type of sub you are talking to based on patterns that you recognize from previous conversations. So maybe that sounds confusing. Watch the video again. I don't know what to fucking tell you. But for now, let's get into the reasons. Number 1, why subs buy. I'm putting this one first. I really shouldn't put this one first, actually, but I'm going to do it anyway. Number 1, the reason subs buy is because they are just buyers. Some people, they're buyers. Okay, Dan Kennedy says a buyer is a buyer is a buyer is a buyer. After working in sales for many, many years, I know that some people, they just fucking buy everything. Doesn't matter what it is. They just buy. Like we would have people that stopped at the kiosk and like they would buy whatever for full price. And then we would go and take them to the other kiosk to be sold for $2,000 because we know that they just bought for full price. Now, how did we know that they're a buyer? Because we've have so many references of other customers who argue, who make excuses, who lie, who try to get out of the interaction any way possible. And when compared to them, we're like, oh, this person just bought at the first price that I said, didn't even let me finish my demo, and was like, okay, I'll take it. How much for 2? You know what I mean? Love those questions. And some subs will do the same thing. Some subscribers, they are just the type of person where when they are presented with an offer, they will say, okay. They'll do it with content. They'll do it with fucking clothes at a retail shop. They'll do it with a fucking car. They will do it with an info product, with a coaching program. They just buy. Now, how do you identify who's a buyer and who's not a buyer? Kind of just need to go by feel. What I don't want you to do is fucking try to dump a huge sale on everybody in the first message or first couple of messages and be like, oh, maybe he's a buyer. These people are not super common when picking from the Gen Pop. But they do exist, right? And the Gen Pop, like you're not running targeted ads on Facebook for buyers. These are not, and you can't really do that for OnlyFans girls. Yes, I know you can run ads. Not what I'm talking about. But like, I'll give you an example. Okay, when you run ads on Facebook, let's say, or Instagram for an OnlyFans girl, what's the ad? It's like a girl and she's like doing a little sexy dance, and let's say the guy clicks through and he becomes a subscriber. What do you know about that guy, about that sub? Well, you just know that he thinks that girl's hot. That's all you know. You don't know where he's from. You don't know how old he is. I mean, I guess you can like play with the demographics a little bit, but you don't know. Well, I guess you could really play with the demographics if you wanted to. Can't you target by profession and all that? But you can't really target by, you can't really make an avatar of that guy. I don't think. I really don't think that like you can be that sophisticated with saying so little about the product in the ad. Whereas, let's compare this to something else. Let's say, I'll give you a simple example. Let's say you want to make a Facebook ad. Let's say you want to target people who sell coaching programs, coaches and consultants who are, who have a thing that's $5,000 and they're doing $25,000 a month and they're in the fitness industry, right? You can say in your ad, are you a fitness coach doing at least $25,000 a month and you need more clients or whatever? Then you're going to want to listen to my next 2 minutes. And I promise you by the end of this, you're going to have the fucking whatever, more clients, blah, blah, blah. And then you know with more reliability that the person who watches that ad is more likely to be that person. Anyway, fucking tangent, right? But the point is that even if you don't do any of that targeting, you will come across subs who are just buyers. They just buy everything. These are the potential whales. And you obviously are going to sell most of what you sell to the whales. But that does not mean that all whales just start out as buyers, right? You can like get somebody to become a whale without them being the type of person that buys from everybody. Anyway, I don't want to make it too confusing for you, but just understand that there are some subs out there. There are some people out there who are just buyers and they will buy everything. Now, 1 in 100, 1 in 200 of the people that you talk to will be like that. But when you recognize that you are talking to one of them, well, they buy everything. So fucking try and sell them everything. Number 2, why subs buy. They have hit buying temperature. So there's a concept in sales, right? Buying temperature. And it's a thing. If you are a salesperson and you're going into a presentation and you're talking to a prospect, you can assume, let's say, worst case scenario. Well, worst case scenario is that they start off with negative buying temperature and they're like angry at you or angry that they're being pitched and like they've had a bad experience in the past maybe and they somehow found themselves in a presentation. Let's not think about that because that's probably not the interaction you're going to have. Let's assume that somebody starts with 0 buying temperature. Now on OnlyFans, these are all warm leads, right? These are all leads who have subscribed to the profile at some point, preferably, hopefully recently. But they have subscribed at some point. They are effectively warm leads. There was something that at some point caused those subs to click through to the profile and click subscribe, maybe pay some money, maybe sign up for a free trial, or maybe just for free. But the point is that something encouraged them to spend their time and their calories clicking buttons on their mouse to maintain contact with the girl that you are representing. Now, that means that their buying temperature is probably going to start out a little bit hotter than like your average Joe. And your job as a salesperson, as a chatter, is to get them to hit buying temperature. Now, how do you do this? Well, that's not the purpose of this video. We're not talking about that. But the point is that when you are talking to them, you need to get them to the point, you need to understand this concept of buying temperature. What is buying temperature? Well, think about it like this. You're boiling water or you're putting water, you want to make some fucking, hard-boiled eggs and you get the water hot. Well, actually, I guess hard-boiled eggs don't need boiling water in order to do that. But I don't know, whatever. You want to boil water for some reason. And you turn on the heat and water boils at 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And you're heating up the water and you have the flame going, whatever. And the water is, starts out at 70 degrees and then 80, 90, 100, 120, 150. And it's going up and up and up and it stops at 200 degrees. Okay. That water is not going to boil. You got to get it to 212 degrees. It's going 201, 202. It's going slowly. Oh, you're working to get that water boiling. Oh, 210, 211, 211 and a half. If it doesn't get to 212, it is not going to boil. And the same thing is true for subscribers. If you do not get them all the way to buying temperature, all the way to the point where they want to give you the money, not like halfway, not 3/4 of the way, not like you're having a kind of good conversation with them and then you spring it on them, but you need to get them to the point where they are like frothing at the mouth. Like, please show me something. Please give me an opportunity to give you money. That's what you want to do. And I think if more chatters out there, they understood that as their goal for whatever reason. Now there's lots of reasons that you can, we'll talk about that later, but like, oh, maybe I didn't have that one on here. Anyway, the point is you need to get them to buying temperature. So use the tools in your toolbox to get them to the point where they want to buy. And if you work for me, there's plenty of training available and I have other videos on the channel that will tell you how to do that. Number 3, reason why subs buy is that the model is just his type. It's just his type of girl. Like the guy likes big titties and your model has big titties. Well, guess what? More likely to buy, right? He likes them. That's why he subscribed. He's a niche follower, a niche subscriber. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to like have a conversation with a sub or talk to a sub and like you're talking to him and he doesn't jump right away to buy the thing for $100 and like, oh, well, my model's not his type, so he's not going to buy. That's not the play here. Okay. You can get any sub. Yes. Well, any sub that has money and has a need for something. I'll make another video about needs. Well, I could talk about it in this video. Any sub that has money and a need for something, if you can fulfill that need, then that sub will buy. All the sub needs to understand is that you will fulfill the need. Now, what are some of the needs? Obviously, there's the physical need. There's the emotional need, where the sub, wants to feel like he has an emotional connection, that you know him and care about him. There's Captain Save-A-Ho, right? The sub, he wants to feel like he's rescuing the girl, like he's helping the girl, like he's improving her life in some way. You have another one, let's call it Captain Teach-A-Ho, where the sub wants to feel that he's like helping the girl like learn stuff about life and be more informed and exposing her to things that she never would have seen otherwise, and that boosts his ego. So if you can figure out a way to become his type, not just physical, but to present to, let's say, bait an opportunity to become his type, if not his physical type, then he will buy. Okay. Number 4, they view the thing as worth more than their money. So the thing could be anything, right? The thing, what's the easy one? Pictures, videos, but there's a lot of other reasons that subs buy. Again, like I said, let's take Captain Save-A-Ho as an example, right? If you say that your girl has no money and needs to buy books for school, and books are $400, and she just spent her last money on rent, and she's so poor and blah, blah, blah. And like, oh my God, I studied so hard to get into this school. And I know it's just community college, but like, I'm trying to change my life because of my mom's got a bum leg, and like, whatever. You spin some fucking story. And you can say like, oh, books are $450 and I have only $270 and I just need another $180. Like, is there anything I can do? Do you want me to make you a custom, whatever? Like anything that you don't have to give me all of it. Just like if you can give anything there. And if the guy has money, if he's like, if he's with it, if he likes the girl, whatever, then he might just dump all of it on her. He might fucking give her $200 and give her another $200 and be like, here, go have some fucking lunch. Go, whatever, buy groceries for the week, As somebody, and this is something that like, if you're watching this video and you don't understand, you probably don't have money. If you do have money, you do understand, because you've been generous with women before, or you've been generous with people before. It doesn't have to be women. Like, if a family member that you feel obligated to help, not a shit family member who leeches off you, but like, let's say a good family member who doesn't have the ability to help themselves, if they meekly call you or text you and ask you for money, and they're like, oh, we need $300 for this, blah, blah, blah. You might be like, okay, no problem. Here's $600. Go fucking, whatever, go do something, go have fun, because you don't care, right? It makes you feel good. It's an ego boost, whatever. Now, did you get manipulated? Maybe, fine. But like, you still got what you wanted. You still gave the money and you forgot about it and you feel good. So that is one way of making them understand that the thing is worth more than the money. Now, that's just with that. Obviously, you can sell content. The best way to do this is with the increasing value ladder, where you price things low, you condition them to buy, and then you engage. You exchange many messages with them in between the actual sales of the content. Like, I feel like this is an area where a lot of chatters fuck up. They'll sell, they'll try to sell too soon. And then if they get lucky and they sell something, they'll try to jam the guy after 3 more messages for another big sale. And then when he doesn't buy, they're like, babe, how come you're not buying, babe? Is something wrong, babe? And it's like, bro, you're just a dog shit chatter. That's why they didn't buy. You didn't exchange enough messages. Like when you're chatting with a sub and you want to get them overall for the session for, let's say, $200, how many messages do you think you need to send in order for that to happen? Let me tell you, you need to send at least, let's say, 15 messages per sale. All right. That's a good way to think about it. Like, you should not, like, in order to send the first PPV, you need to send 15 messages. To unlock the ability to send the second one, another 15, so on and so forth. Use that as a rule of thumb if you're a new chatter. When you have experience, you can break that rule. Number 5, they want to show their appreciation for you in some way. Right? Maybe they just appreciate how fucking nice your titties are. Maybe they just appreciate how you make them feel by being nice to them, by asking them how their day was, by having an interesting conversation with them. You got to understand, most of these guys are lonely. Most of these guys have no friends. Most of these guys get no action. Most of these guys get no female attention. And for them to believe that an attractive female is taking an interest in them and showing them a good time and really giving them a good experience, that, will cause them to feel like they need to repay the obligation. Like they're obligated to like give you money because they know that's what you want. Now they should know that that's what you want. They should know that like you're not doing OnlyFans because you're an exhibitionist and a dirty whore and you just love it. No, like it's not a bad idea to tell these guys that like you're doing this because you have to. You would much rather, I don't know, what's a job girl's like? You would much rather open a cat sanctuary and like rescue stray cats, but like that doesn't pay well, and to fulfill your dream of the little Becky Sparkles fucking cat sanctuary that you hope to open up someday, you got to fucking pay the bills, and you got to pay your rent, you got to pay your car payment, you got to pay your insurance, and your dog needs an operation, and you're fucking got a flat tire and your phone screen broke, and who knows. Number 6. It's the most important one. I probably should have said it first. You give the subs a good experience. Why do subs buy? Because you give them a good experience. If you give them a good experience and then you ask them for money. Okay, this is a Tony Robbins quote, right? Heard this a long time ago, never forgot it. The secret to becoming wealthy as a, coach, personal speaker, whatever, is that, well, let me actually re-clarify that. The secret to becoming wealthy as somebody who communicates for a living is to just turn into such a cool person that is so appealing and so compelling and so attractive that people are willing to pay you just to hang out with you. And that's really what it is. Trying to sell tickets to an event, trying to sell fucking coaching programs. Like if you, yes, okay, people buy because they want the info. People buy because they want fucking, whatever. I don't know, like the method. They want you to help them because and you have experience. But don't underestimate the power of actually having these people really like you and just be like, yeah, I'm fucking rich. I'd pay $5,000 to fucking hang out with you. Sure. Why not? And that's also a thing. So obviously in this business, they're not going to hang out with you, but they're going to hang out with you online. They're going to hang out with you via chats. And if you dole out your attention correctly, they will understand that they will get more of your attention by paying. That's really the secret, is how to do that while still giving them a good experience. How do you make them understand that you're going to give them a good experience, but that you're not going to do it for free and they have to pay for it? With other things, if you were a hooker, like that would be easier because no money, no fucky. With this, that's kind of the art of the science that comes in. So the point is you have to give them a good experience. Now, what I believe in the way that I teach my chatters and what I encourage them to do is that you need to give before you receive. And really, this is actually like the best way to I do this for my own business also. And I guess you could make the argument that I do this for my models and I do this for my chatters. I give them a lot before I ask for anything. When I hire a new chatter, oh my God, I give them so much training material. I train them myself. I let other people train them. And that's not taking from them. That's giving them. They're not paying me for that world-class education on how to fucking make money. They are being given it for free. Same thing with models. I have all this infrastructure set up. I have a bunch of videos for them to watch. I have fucking templates for them. I have fucking shit to educate them on how to make better videos. I have a ton of that. And I give it all to them for free, right? Before I make a single dollar off of them. And then, down the line, like 2 weeks later, you're able to collect a payout, best case scenario. And it's the same thing with subs. Now, how do you give a sub a good experience? How do you give to a sub before you ask to take from a sub? Well, what I recommend is that you just show them a good time in the conversation itself. You do the personalized opener. You're interesting. You're compelling. You show them the conversation is going to be fun and engaging. Then you qualify them. You ask them about themselves. Get them talking. Everybody loves talking about themselves. And then you build commonalities on whatever they said. Oh, really? Me too. My dad did that. My cousin did that. I heard about that once. Sounds so cool. Blah blah blah. And they're like, oh wow, this is actually a good conversation. I'm enjoying myself here. This is kind of cool. I never have these conversations on OnlyFans because it's always a bunch of fucking, ESL third worlders trying to fucking sell me $100 videos after 2 minutes. But you're actually cool. I'm actually enjoying myself here. And that's how you give them a good experience. Cool. So thank you for watching this video. Those are 6 reasons why subs buy. Let me know what you think about that. Drop me a comment and I will see you next time.